welcome to another episode of the Lone Recruiter Podcast. I'm your host, Brett Clemenson, and if you're a recruiter out on your own or just lacking general advice or mentorship, you've come to the right place. Our episodes are designed to give you the motivation, the strategies, and the support you need to become the very best lone recruiter. So join us, grab a cup of coffee, and let's take your desk to another level. Now today, the episode is about decision fatigue. It is real, and it is very real in recruitment because our job, I feel like we're just throwing curveball after curveball, application after application, question, brief, CV. It doesn't end. And every time that stimulus comes in, we have to make a decision. Are we going to work them? Are we not? How do they look against the brief we've got? Does this match that? Does whatever. There are a lot of micro decisions that go on in our job, and a lot of it's reflex, gut feel, fine. But for me, it's about preserving as much bandwidth in my mind to be able to handle as much of that recruitment stuff coming in every day so that I can make better decisions, I can make more decisions, and I can make more money, essentially, right? So I'm not sure if you guys have heard this, but why on earth does Mark Zuckerberg, the Facebook CEO who has all the money in the world, why does he wear the same clothes every single day? Why do highly successful people, there are countless CEOs that you can just Google it. Why do they all wear the same clothes every day? Why do they create daily routines that just seem so like routine and mundane? Like, why do they do the same things day in, day out? It is very simple. It is to eliminate decisions. Unnecessary decisions eat up your CPU power, your computer. How often have you had all these tabs open in your computer? You're trying to do a couple of programs and all of a sudden your computer just spinning wheel of death or blue screen of death, whatever you want to call it. That is your computer going, no, I can't make any more decisions right now. You've got too many things going on. Your brain is no different, okay? So a good example of this, right? And I think I've spoken to a lot of recruiters where if they're working from home one day, you're in work mode, you're thinking, yep, computer call, you go downstairs, I'm going to just make a quick coffee. Your brain's still in work mode. You just go, I just need to go get a coffee. Your significant other, your partner, your kids, your family member, a friend, whatever, sees you and goes, oh, hey, whilst you're here, on Saturday, we've been invited to go to blah, blah, blah. What, do you think you could pick up such and such? And your brain just goes, I can't. What? I'm not even on that channel right now. Oh, it's just a silly question. Can you just answer it? And your brain just wants to crack. That is decision fatigue in process. And also you're in a different lane. But for me, I have an office, not at home, but very close to home, purely so that I don't get those sort of distractions, because work for me is a lane and I need to just really focus in on that. So taking this all to the nth degree, I hate making decisions. I actually hate making decisions because I can feel it. And when you're aware of it, you become really aware of it. So it was pointed out to me that I am incredibly routine on such mundane things. And I started thinking about it and I was like, I really am. And in practice yesterday, it really served me well. And I want to highlight, today's episode is about helping you go through and what are the bits that you could actually just automate in your day in terms of decisions, pre-made decisions, so that you're not making decisions during the day. And again, we want to preserve your CPU power in your mind so that you can do better at your job. Okay, so this is a quick one. There's not a lot to go through. Bear with me. I think you'll find this interesting. So simple stuff like, what time of the day do you wake up every day? Like every day, if you don't have a set time, you just wake up whenever, whatever. How on earth do you plan the rest of your morning? Because you don't know what time you're getting up. I would get in the habit of setting an alarm Monday to Friday for a particular time, and I'll put it in my calendar. Decision done. You don't have to think about waking up ever again because, you might be listening to this and going, yeah, some days I don't, and blah, blah, blah. Like, stop it. Make the decision now. This is the time I wake up. The next one is exercise. I was speaking to someone yesterday who said, I normally swim in the morning, but I couldn't. So I said, I'll do it at lunch. And then lunch rolled around. I went, I won't do that. I might do it in the afternoon. That decision's following them all day. And they ended up not swimming. So all day, they used all this brain power about going exercising, swimming, and they never actually did it. But they burned all these calories and decision-making bandwidth on a freaking swim they never did. So exercise, the time and the place you do it for every day of the week should be pre-thought out. My gym's great because I can just go on the app and go that. And I pick them and boom. I get up at 5:45. I'm at the gym by 6:30. I'm home by 7:30. Boom. Out of my life, out of my mind. I'm not thinking about that decision. I do it all on Sunday. They're the ones I'm going to do. And it's done. But I can tell you now, like, I don't have to worry about it. The next one, now this is an interesting one. And it's around drinking. I'm not a massive drinker, but I don't mind a couple on the weekend. I have a rule, and I call it a rule because you don't break rules. I don't drink during the week. Monday to Friday, I do not drink. And, you know, when you go to client meetings, when you go and meet someone for lunch during the week and work, we know that the moment you have a drink, that afternoon's gone, right? So for me at least, so I just have that rule. And so I'm at lunch yesterday. Oh, do you want a beer? No. It's not a decision. It's a reflex. Very different to a decision. Ooh, do I want a beer? Trust me, these micro decisions add up and they just burn calories in your brain. Family commitments is another one. Like, who's picking up the kids when? What dinners do you have to go to? All this stuff. Like, you know pretty well a week in advance of what's coming up with your family, your kids, your wife, your friends, or whatever. Put them in the diary and just go, that's it. That's when I leave. Done. Decision made. And then the rest of your week when you're booking other appointments, it just works around pre-made stuff. You don't have to overthink it. I even go to, like, you know, physio, chiro, any doctors, massages, saunas, floats, stretching, like all this stuff that helps serve your body, like the LeBron James mentality of, like, I'm going to spend time and money on my body when it's not injured just to really prehab the crap out of it. That stuff can be automated too, even to the extent of just recurring appointments. I go to the chiro once a week. Why? Just to keep me nice and straight. And I do it every Tuesday, 11 a.m. You know, sauna once a fortnight happens on alternating Mondays. You know, various things. If you have them set and forget mode, trust me, one less decision to make because they add up. That's kind of like the personal stuff. For me, the personal stuff is the stuff that has to go in first because the moment you're not looking after yourself, how on earth are you meant to look after other people's careers, briefs, jobs, everything like that? You need to serve yourself first. That's why I put all that personal stuff in my calendar, set and forget every week in, week out, month in, month out. It might feel robotic and it might seem odd at first, but trust me, just knowing that they're there, other people in your life then know that they're there as well. And all of a sudden it becomes quite harmonious. It's quite easy to navigate your week. So again, let's turn this now onto your recruiting desk and, like, how you operate day in, day out. How annoying are ad hoc meetings, right? When someone in your office, hey, can we have a meeting in 15 minutes? It's the worst. I'm guilty of it from time to time, but I'm really conscious that it's really frustrating. I came from an environment where it was just ad hoc meeting. Didn't matter what you had planned, you had to be there. It was ridiculous. So if you're in charge of creating meetings or you're involved in an office that might have, there's certain things that need to be done, but there's a bit of a moving target around time, go and make times static. Like, this is when we do this. Monday morning meeting, 11 o'clock, that happens week in, week out. Everyone knows it. That's it. If you can't make it, that's on you. So I would look at that, like set regular times and then never think about it again. When do you take lunch? Do you have a set lunchtime? Or do you just go whenever you're hungry? Because again, if you aren't fueled, you haven't got, you know, a good rhythm on eating and sleeping and all that sort of stuff, like your body is a rhythm. So it goes out. So for me, I just go 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, I have lunch. And then look, within that, I can get some stuff done if I'm feeling particularly busy. But I need to get out at 12 o'clock. I need to go and start getting food. If that means I've got my laptop and I'm chugging away on emails, whatever, that's fine. But I would set a lunchtime because your body does get used to waking up at a certain time, exercising at a certain time, eating at certain times, sleeping at certain. And when you get that rhythm going, it's actually quite amazing because getting to sleep's easier, waking up's easier, that sort of stuff. Your body gets used to that. The other thing that and this is probably the last one, and it's quite a big one, is I don't like saying KPIs, but the 3 or 4 main strategic imperatives I need to pull into the week, I typically put into my calendar. And so, for example, if I need to do 2 projects a week on LinkedIn to source for different briefs for clients, I have them in there. So I look at all those things I've already put in. I go, okay, I need 2-3 hours for that. I need 2-3 hours for that. And it goes Tuesday and it goes Thursday. They may move, but I try to lock them in so that when I'm going through my things, I'm like, cool, get to that. It's, again, one less decision out of my week that I need to work out, and I'm getting through the stuff that means something to my business. Or it might be like client meetings. Do you have a set amount of client meetings you have to do? Put the times in, and then if you need to fill them up with people later, great, but just know when you're doing them, because, again, that'll help with your travels. If you need to get to a certain place for those meetings, it'll help you with other bits and bobs in your calendar. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. We want to make less decisions, and there are a lot of obvious things there that we're making decisions on, and I don't think maybe a lot of you would realize are actual decisions that are taking brain power away from your desk. So this one's not even about recruiting today, but it will really underpin you having a clear mind so that you can tackle your work with 100% focus and not being distracted, because all those things I mentioned today, most people will do all, if not all of those things, but I think only a fraction of people will calendarize this stuff the way I do, and I can tell you now, it's a massive help. So I'd love to hear thoughts on it. Drop a message below if you're listening to this on whatever way, or through LinkedIn, Instagram, however you consume. If there's a way to message, just write like, hey, this was great, or no, I didn't think of that, or you forgot this. I love to be corrected. If there's some things here that you like or you don't like or you want to add to it, get in there. That's all we have time for today. As always, have an amazing day. May all your deals come true.